Hello, post commentary Asia here to talk through this Hell Max Sphere clear that I got a week ago. This is actually going to be the first, probably the first of 5 VODs that will be uploaded to the channel. Well, the first of 5 Max Sphere clears, I suppose. Here will be this Hell clear, and then 3 blades, the 3 remaining blades that I haven't done, which are Artemis, Pan, and Morrigan, as well as a null coat clear. If you're wondering why these haven't been uploaded yet, I've needed to do a post commentary for all of these, and I have not really had the motivation to do any of these post commentaries. One, because there is a lot of them that I need to do. 5 is a hefty number of post comms, especially for someone that really hates doing post comms. 2 is that I really haven't had the motivation to do so in general. I haven't really wanted to do anything Hades related in a while. I feel like playing so much Hades in a short span of time, getting not only the 4 max spheres, the 3 blades and the coat, but also the other max spheres that I did that I uploaded in short succession. I think I got 9 or something like that over the span of a few days. And that's just a lot of Hades. That doesn't really sound like a lot, playing a few days straight of this game. That's not really that crazy to some of you. But for someone who doesn't really play this game often, that is a that is a lot. That's a shit ton. And it kind of burned me out a bit. I was like, I don't really want to play this game too much. Another reason is real life shit. There has been a lot of sad and depressing shit that has happened to me very recently, and it has made me not really want to do anything. But I gotta get these VODs out of my hair at some point, and what better time than now, I suppose. I know some of you probably really wanted to see these for quite a while, and so, well, here they are. Well, here's one of them at least. I'm sure the next few will come pretty quickly after. But yeah, after taking a break for quite a while, for a few weeks, I ended up coming back and decided to play again. I warmed up with a Nergal Max Sphere, which I've done a bazillion of those at this point. But I wanted to do a harder aspect, and what better than Hell, because I enjoy Hell quite a lot. Hell was advertised as being, quite a pain in the ass, and so I thought that that would be fun to do. And then after playing it for a day, I realized that this aspect is incredibly overhated. I think it is, really quite good. Obviously this run hits a very, very strong build, but I had multiple builds, I think at least 3 builds that made it to fields that didn't really have anything. In fact, this is the first run that I had out of all of my help prog that actually hit leering, which really helped out, let me tell you. Obviously, most hell runs sort of end very quickly in Erebus, as you may not hit a build. Well, they don't really end quickly in Erebus, they sort of die in Erebus. Even if Mel herself doesn't die in the biome, you're sort of condemned to timeout to Sirens because your build is dog shit. Hell kind of can't really go too long without hitting a build. Obviously, certain things can circumvent this. One of the runs that made it to fields actually had Stormring. And if you've played Max here at all, you know that Stormring kind of just carries really hard. So I can't really count that. But, yeah, this was really the first run that hit a big build. A lot of that ended up coming from the boon that we hit in the next room, which is Zeus. I'm grabbing armor from the well before hitting our Zeus boon here. But yeah, If I wasn't gonna do Hell, I was thinking about doing Anubis, because Anubis still does not have a max sphere clear, and I really do enjoy that aspect. The only problem is that I'm just not very good at it. I mean, I'm not very good at Hell either, but I think I would just have to learn Anubis. Maybe I will do that. Um, this ended up being a tricky decision for me. I really wanted to take Static, but I also wanted to rebuild Magic to use my O special, and I was afraid that if I didn't click Blitz Attack, I would time out the Hecate. So we end up clicking the Blitz Attack. And then we had the Hecate. Anyways, what was I? Oh yeah, I haven't played Hades in a while, but I recently have started playing Sekiro again, which I just really love that game. That game is so good. I mostly started playing it because a friend of mine was playing it for the first time. Oh yeah, I forgot. I forgot that I completely misspaced that. I thought I had enough room to just greet and shoot. I was sorely mistaken. But yeah, what was I? Oh yeah. But Sekiro, yeah. I just love that game. It's very nice to replay and stuff. For those of you who have played Sekiro, what's your favorite like boss fight? I know there are a lot of great bosses in that game, many to choose from. I think my favorite in the game, if for a while it was Ichigo, just because his moveset is so good. But recently it's become Allfather again, just because that fight is so satisfying. I end up doing sheep ball dodge completely wrong there. I'm not sure as to why I picked that side to do it on while doing up and down. If I was already on left side, I should have just full committed and gone hard left to do the side-to-side strat. I'll blame that on Rust, though. I hadn't played this game in a while, obviously, before it starting, and Hecate was already, you know, my weakest of the Underworld fights, I think. Though it doesn't really matter. I think we would have timed out anyways, or gotten close to timing out, even if we had dodged sheep ball properly. But we kill Hagati pretty quickly afterwards, don't lose too much chip damage to our armor from the timer. I feel so scatterbrained. I'm sorry if this commentary is kind of all over the place. Oh yeah, I clicked Braid there because I had Smoldering. I know I had brought this up, I think, in a different clear, but Braid doesn't work with any cast other than Smoldering. So if you have like Storm Ring or Wrap Ring or Engagement or any of those, don't click it. The only time you can ever click it is if you have Smoldering. I'm not sure as to why this is the way that it works, but I remember someone in the Hades 2 community ended up figuring that out. Which is, well, it's cool that it was figured out, but it's lame that that's how it works. This Oceanus ends up being very fast. We get a really good encounter 1 into Cocoons. I think into Shop, Narc, Miniboss, Nim, Chaos Gates, I think, is the order, if I remember this run correctly. It's been a week, so I could be wrong. I really wanted to take the trial in the other room, but like, you know, you gotta take the shop. It's time save, and it allowed us to get a boon in the form of Thermal Dynamics, and a Hex in the form of Twilight Curse. Ended up picking up Hera as our 4th from Narc and get the best in slot special. Obviously, Hitch special is incredibly good on, you know, every aspect. Well, Hitch special, the fuck? Richard, what the fuck are you talking about? Hitch is good on every aspect, not Hitch special. But it's especially good on Hell, because our little skull can fly around and attack everything in the room, hitching everything, allowing us to spread our damage around and clear encounters very quickly. Rat ends up going down, and we head into Nim. I think this is Nim. Yeah, it is. And then there's the Chaos Gate. I did remember! Look at me go! Look at me go! Look at the brain. Look at me, I'm cooking. And purging chaos, obviously. 1, it's gold, and 2, I don't want to deal with the chaos curse right before sirens. We're grabbing Hero where we get Bridal Glow for our cast, which is really stupid. Like if we already needed Pyrotechnique, we definitely need it now. And we're into Sirens. Sirens already I think is not that bad of a fight. On Hell is really quite good, especially if you have Hitch Special. That little skull flies around and hitches up everything in the room, allowing you to sort of blitz through the fight, both literally and figuratively. Kill our 2 Sirens before killing Roxy and then heading back to kill that last tentacle. I end up precasting the O special before the phase, but for some reason it doesn't go off. I'm really not sure as to why. Sort of just didn't work. I end up hitting Roxy feature here, and even though I'm rusty enough to take a tentacle hit by misspacing, I'm not rusty enough to forget my Roxy patterns. So this is sort of a heads up to you, dear viewer, if you don't know your Roxy patterns, to get those learned. Makes this fight a whole hell of a lot easier. Essentially guaranteeing a free win if you see a Roxy feature. Even though pretty much every feature that can be given is kind of free, honestly, in my opinion. Other than Jetty feature, I think Jetty feature is probably the only feature that can really fuck you over. Yes, that includes Cryptus feature. I think Cryptus feature is not that bad. I'll die on that hill. That feature is fucking free. Anyways, that's Sirens. Heading into Fields, we went from timing out to having 2 minutes 37 seconds extra time. We click Sash, obviously, because you always click Sash on Max Sphere. Unless you're in Golem, in which you click something else. End up selling Bridal Glow in the well and head into Fields. This Fields I remember going pretty well until we hit Serb. Serb marks a turning point in the run, but we'll talk about that when we get there. Obviously now that we have essentially everything in the build other than Pyro, which we're still looking for by the way, these encounters go quite fast. Mostly due to Hitch Special. Hitch Special is incredibly strong, and it's now even stronger with the fact that we picked up Melting Break from that hammer. I like saving O Special in these encounters until either a very evil enemy appears or the very last encounter. Mostly because we still don't have a gain boot. The last piece of the puzzle other than Pyrotechnique. And since we have Apollo and we know that his gain is still available, that is what we're looking for. Made a bit of a mistake there not shooting the Mamiya twice before throwing out the special, especially since we have Melting Break. And then I dodge improperly, which causes us to lose Gale. It's not the end of the world though, as we don't end up taking any damage in the encounter. End up eating the onion instead of purging it. Heading into Echo, we grab our evade. End up taking the left door. You know, we get our second Hermes as well as a Path of Stars. I couldn't remember how many nodes we were guaranteed, and was hoping I could cheese out a godsend with maybe like a Path of Stars laying about as a minor reward. End up losing evade to the yellow shade, which is pretty bad. That is really the fun of hitting evade, is watching all the creative ways you get to lose it. Like right there, I agreed to purge a minor magic pot and end up taking a shot to the face. Love that. Here we have another, you know, fairly standard encounter. Really nothing happens here. End up playing this quite well, especially with all these Tempe and yellow shades laying about. Our positioning ends up being quite good. And everything goes down without a hitch. We end up grabbing a travel deal, I think. Yeah, it is. Damn. It's crazy how much you remember of your Max Sphere clears. I'm seeing a big enemy at the end here. We use our O special on it to melt it very quickly. Then clean up the rest of the blue Muncher squadron that spawned alongside the little mini-mobs. A few Randy skulls laying about as well. Pretty fun. End up hitting our path of stars and find our growth node, which we immediately go to. Unfortunately, the blue node on the path is extinction, which doesn't really do too much for us. I kind of wanted the Zeus there, but I decided to take the shop as we just hit travel deal. If you're wondering why I paused for much longer than I do, as I feel like I make decisions pretty quickly, I actually answered a phone call. Someone had been calling me quite incessantly, and I decided to pick up because maybe it was urgent. Which is the main reason why I'm doing a post commentary now. And I will not lie, that definitely contributed to this horrible fucking opening where I take 2 quick hits. Very stupidly, might I add. Obviously, I'm making excuses, but I do feel like that contributed to the horrible gameplay. Usually my serve is, you know, somewhat whatever, but that was just egregiously bad. But my little flame swipe dodges here are kind of clean. Like there's one later where I actually dodged that properly. That might sound mundane to some of you, but like that move's hitbox is kind of dog shit. So anytime you dodge it properly, it just feels like $1,000,000. Obviously we saved our Twilight Curse for the mid phase. Killed everything quite quickly. Strip Serb of all his wards. And then run away from his little paw swipes. Or paw slams, I suppose. I ended up holding over the lava DPS timer and ran straight into one of the paw marks on the ground, which caused me to lose a Galway. Which is unfortunate because I ended up taking a hit later on in the fight, and that hit would not have been taken if I kept the Galway. Serb Aura walks there, which means that he's going to dash. I don't remember when exactly I take the hit. I think it is soon though. Ooh, there's a lucky dodge. I think it's around here. Maybe I misremembered. I remembered taking a really stupid hit to serve. Maybe that was a different one? Oh, the fun of just fucking recording this shit and just... no, it's right here, I think. He slams and we just immediately take. Yeah, I knew I remembered. End up taking a bunch of lava chip damage so that we don't get hit with nonsense, but it's just part of the fight. Not Serb. Obviously, that fight did not go very well. It could have gone way worse, but it definitely could have gone way better. And we're in the tart with almost 8 minutes? Yeah, almost 8 minutes. Which is really quite good. Obviously there is really not much pressure on this run. This build was kind of unlosable, I'm not gonna lie to you. Especially since we had already made great prog on builds that were far inferior to this one. Could this build have been better? Yes. Yes, it could have. Obviously, if we hit Pyrotechnique early, that would have been incredibly good, but it is what it is. I was, you know, quite annoyed that this run won, especially after the Kronos fight, which, oh my god. I'm not looking forward to having to watch that back. That's that's not fun. But you know, sometimes the runs that you win are kind of just whatever, and you kind of have to live with them. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth, I suppose. These encounters are just so nothing. I real, there's just nothing happening. I'm taking our Hades door. Grab deep descent. Like this run sort of just hit everything. It was very nice. No, I'm gonna be real. I am like very tempted to just have like friends of mine record the post commentaries for the other 4 runs. Because as I'm doing this one now, I'm gonna be real. Like, who really cares about a post commentary? Like actually, like it gives insight to the run and stuff, and I think that's cool. But like, who actually cares? If I could do all live comms, I would. I don't know how silly that would be, or how unwatchable that would be. Maybe I'll ask one of them to do one as like a demo, and see if I'm like fine with it or whatever. If it's dog shit, then you know I'll just go next. Just record it myself. Obviously, you know we're talking about completely unrelated shit because this Tartarus is just nothing. It's just a whole lot of fucking walking around, hell gameplay. Throw out that special all the time, spam that special, click that attack, etc. etc. I guess I'll use this time to say like, you guys should play Hell. Like, more people should give this aspect a few plays. I think it's pretty cool. It's a lot better than people give it credit for. That's my 2 cents on it at least. I'm sure I said that like at least 3 times throughout this run. Oh wait, something actually happens in this room. I lose an evade and a galley. Like whoa. How crazy. Maybe I'll just do like a more loose form for the remaining 4 max fears. Just fucking yap about just whatever. Maybe I'll talk about fucking music. Whoa. Maybe I'll yap about random shit. Who cares? Like maybe. Maybe I'll do like a book review. Maybe I'll do a book review for the next Max Fear post-com. Fuck yeah. I'll talk about Ballard. I'll talk about JG Ballard's Crash. Chat, have any of you read Crash? I would recommend it if you haven't. It's a really good book. It's really cool. I reread it recently. Just a grand old time. Alright, here we are in Chronos. All the nonsense and all shit tier play ends up happening in P3, so you don't have to worry about anything for a bit. Once we hit P3, I would advise you, dear viewer, to fucking turn off your monitor, close your eyes, put a blindfold on, etc. etc. End up using Twilight Curse a bit too early there, which causes it to not spread, which is very lame. Super good dodge on the Orbeez there, and insane fucking aura just standing. I know, I was in like full rant mode from the fucking phone call. Like I had hung up at this point, was just ranting to myself about shit, and they ended up distracting me way too hard. There are some good plays in this Chronos, I think. Most of it is like whatever, but there's like, God, there are 3 modes that are just so fucking horrible that like, I don't know, they're just baffling. You'll just have to see them. God, this fight is just, you know, I've noticed that this game, like even Max Fear, like the hardest difficulty in the game or whatever, this game is just like really easy. Like I'm just gonna put that out there. Like I think I think a lot of people can clear Max Fear if they try hard enough. I used to think that like Max Fear was like a crazy fucking thing. Like I dodged way too early there and it fucking me for the time slow. It's horrible. I think a lot of people can clear Max Fear if they just like give a good hard attempt. I used to not think that, but now I'm like, oh, this game is fucking brain dead easy. Like, if I can clear on Hell with no experience with the fucking aspect, then like this game has to be like easy. There's no way it's not. Especially if like I can win on a run that has like such fucking dog shit play as this P3. It's just nothing rant. Maybe I'll cut that part out. It's just stupid. I'm just padding time. This Cronus fight is just so fucking. It's just nothing. Oh yeah, he did like a little meme where he fucking bugged out and tried to cast insta-kill. It was fun. P3, run in a big circle. You'll know this. It's just how it works. I almost get Vangatsu'd there, which is hilarious, but luckily our spacing was good enough to where we didn't get hit. God bless. That dodge was really clean, I'll give myself that. We get time slow, but we get 2 favorable attacks that are easy to dodge, so it doesn't matter. And here we tank our first of 3 scythe throws that I fuck up. Which is spectacular. Truly spectacular. My gameplay astonishes me. Like, sometimes I'll watch it and I'm like, damn, you know, I'm kind of cooking. And then other times I watch it and I'm like, I'm the worst to ever play. I'm sure that's like a universal experience, but like, God, sometimes like my gameplay is just so dog shit, dude. Here I overcorrect and end up tanking the inner scythe, which is just horrible. This fight is so fucking simple, really. It's very bare bones, especially with deep descent. Even without deep descent, it's pretty bare bones. Like the biggest fear you have is time slow. Other than time slow, like even Clonus stacking evil attacks is fine. There I just dodged too late because I'm a fucking shitter, but it doesn't matter because the fight's over. And that's hell. That's the hell 67. Really not much to say about it. I end up take a minute. Obviously, you could see that I didn't immediately skip dialogue. It's because I fucking took my hands off my mouse and keyboard and sort of just put them over my head in like a double face palm. I vividly remember that. But yeah, that was that. If you see our DPS board, obviously it's very clear that only 2 fights were really fucked up super hard. I had a blinking pyrotechnique on the screenshot because I thought it was hilarious. Especially since it came so late in the run. Anyways, I'm fucking yammering. I hope you enjoyed whatever this was. This was the most like all over the place nonsensical post-column. I'm sure the next 4 will be even worse. I yeah, I hope you enjoy. Like and subscribe or whatever. Yeah. Bye.